It's March 20th, 2020.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 146. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I'm Todd Sturgill.
It's out of control and it's all going bad. It's the end of the world as we know it.
It really is.
It's bad.
The new currency is toilet paper.
The year is 2020. Toilet paper is the new currency. Hand sanitizer is in short supply.
Yeah,
it's rough, bro.
No.
What would you say is worse? Because you work in a store. Is it toilet paper or hand sanitizer the more valuable commodity?
Well, I'll tell you right now, they're both gone.
Dude, we have we got in a little thing of like mini bottles of hand sanitizer.
Yeah, they're gone.
The savages.
No, you see, So I've been living on the Kroger subreddit. Every day, just like laughing. It's just a bunch of basically just other employee, Kroger slaves, essentially, just shitting on this whole experience. And it is so fucking good because one of my favorite images I've seen, because this is real shit, is it's basically a snapshot of the South Park Black Friday episode where the savages are just sitting there in the parking lot, just fucking waiting.
Dude, it's bad.
No, dude.
It's so bad.
My store opens at 6 in the fucking morning. 6 in the fucking morning, dude. And we're sitting there. It's me, me and my manager and the other lead. And we're just sitting there looking outside at fucking 5:50. We're the fucking security guards. It's oh!
Dude, I think that's why... It's funny because years in retail really have sort of prepared me for this moment because even though it's obviously on an elongated and much larger, literally global scale with this whole coronavirus stuff, it really is kind of like how it is on Black Friday. Just every day.
It's just every
forever.
Day. It's every fucking day. So it's but dude, it's unreal because it's just I'm looking out. It's 6 in the morning, a full parking lot. I'm like, oh my god.
Yes.
And I'm just again, they're animals. They're fucking savages.
Is your store enforcing any sort of additional sanitation protocol for the employees?
I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you, probably not doing it.
Oh god.
So I feel just last night. So at the time of this recording, we didn't get a grocery load, right?
Yeah,
because we did not get a grocery load. Let me tell you right now, our store looks like a fucking out of business liquidation cell.
Oh god,
dude, just empty shit. Just the aisles are empty, just fucking empty. And I'm just and here's the thing. That's why it was so funny to me is the fucking full parking lot. And I'm just these poor bastards are gonna be disappointed today.
They're gonna come in and see nothing, just barren shelves.
No, paper towels gone, rice gone. Cans gone. Motherfuckers they've going into the Chef Boyardee now.
They're starting to dip into the true desperation.
They're dipping into the desperation food. That's actually the funniest thing to me is once the shit that they really came here for is gone, they start just going, well, they got this and they have that. It's
so funny because down here where I live is probably the opposite situation of where you live because down here the things that are plentiful and not that hard to find in the stores are the organic stuff and the turkey meat and stuff that.
Granted, those made a valiant last stand. You understand me? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, at one point, there was one item in aisle 2. Now, aisle 2 is the paper towels and toilet paper, all that shit. The one item that made a valiant last stand, I almost fucking wanted to fucking play some violin for it, is the dude wipes.
Oh, okay.
The dude wipes made a valiant last stand until they finally went down with the ship. I'll be honest, working grocery, I saw the post on Reddit. I agree with it. We are as a grocery store worker in general, it's just we are the band on the Titanic.
Yes.
That is dead ass what we are right now. It's just it's been a pleasure, motherfucker.
That's so funny, man. I gotta say too, I would see some shit I saw somebody had taken like a roll of toilet paper, but then you go into the like in the beer aisle, like he replaced it with beer. Like this man had his priorities.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. It's really bad now here because they closed down all the bars and restaurants and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So now the alcohol sales
Yeah,
have
so
like skyrocketed.
I think that is going to be because we actually, when I came in, I was off for 3 days because like I actually switched from dayside. I went back to overnight. And the time of this recording last night was my first day officially back overnight. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's the funniest thing to me is the fact that I have been off dayside essentially for 3 days. And even in an empty back room, they cannot keep it organized. I'm like, what? It's fucking empty. How are you bastards like having this disorganized? But whatever.
I'm having to play like ping pong with our beer vendors, like having to like prioritize whose orders to write when and stuff. It's so bad,
dude. We brought in so much liquor. Like there's
Yes.
so I don't know why they decided to bring all this Tito's in. Because Tito's, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm going to be really pissed off if the reasoning behind it is, because everybody can make their own hand sanitizer. I'm like, motherfucker, Tito's came out and said that you can't do it with Tito's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they dead ass. Their alcohol's not strong enough.
I'm about to say, that's not shit vodka.
I hate, dude, we got so much fucking dude. If I should actually send you a picture of the amount of Tito's that we have in our store right now. It's fucking disgusting. It's like, I hate vodka in general, but.
I'm not a vodka drinker either in general. I mean, as the you may be shocked to hear,
Bourbon.
we're whiskey men.
Yeah, whiskey in general, bourbon's my go-to.
The only clear alcohol I like some gin.
I fucking hate gin, bro.
I like gin. It's an acquired thing. I didn't like it when I first had it, and then I revisited it years later for somebody's birthday party.
And you didn't mind it?
And I actually enjoyed it. So.
Respect. I mean, maybe I'll revisit it one day, but the last time I had it, I was like, no, fuck this.
Yeah, so, we are safe. Todd and I have not caught the dreaded virus. Nobody's in quarantine yet.
I mean,
that all might change.
Technically, I'm in my normal quarantine.
Yeah, we prepared our entire lives for this.
It's like I was made for this.
Shit. I'm sitting here. I'm just like every day. I'm like checking the news. I'm like, please make me stay home.
See, like I'm fucked, bro. I'm in a essential part of this bullshit.
Yeah, so are we technically. So we're like we've already basically been told that we're not. Yeah, we're never gonna shut down.
The shit that the grocery stores and like shit like that, like gas, that shit's not closing. That's not closing. Like you're fucked. And here's the thing, I like just long term, even once this coronavirus shit's over with, just words out to all you people. Like I've heard shit from like up high from the grocery gods. Is this shit's probably gonna fuck us like probably all year?
Oh, you think so?
It's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing because like here's the deal with the sales and all that. What's gonna be happening is because if the warehouse empties out, the warehouse needs to get filled back up, and then I've heard things that there's items classified as like slow movers in like stores,
right?
At our store, at our company, they're dead ass gonna stop sending us those to help us with the replenishment. Just concentrate on more of the essentials.
It's so funny because I mean it is the sort of thing where we don't know how much worse that this thing is going to get, but it is the sort of thing where it's like the waves of it are going to be felt for some time.
No, I said this last night to the time of this recording. I was like, this is just going to be a very interesting year because it's just for right now we're doing massive sales. Like my store itself, who normally only averages maybe like 750,000 a week. We hit a mil. We hit 1 point, like a little under 1.3. Just like it's fucking insane.
Well, and it's interesting too so I live in a small town that is very much we're right off of a military base, and there've been talks. Oh, are they going to shut down the base and everything? And if that happens, as fucked as these small businesses already are, Because like local restaurants, they're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford to just shut down for like a month. You know what I mean? And that's what they're being forced to do. And then if the base shuts down, it's like, what is that gonna mean for the rest of the city at large? It's weird. It seemed like it was a small thing at first, but as it has spread and as it has gotten bigger and bigger, it's become a very large thing.
Again, I really do think that, like, as a whole, the world just handled this poorly.
I will say, and I'm not trying to get political. I never want to get too political on this show unless it's relevant or whatever, but I will say that for all of the shit being talked, I wish we would have acted on it a little bit faster here in the US. But I do kind of respect now that we're acting on it, we are fucking acting on it.
Yeah.
So credit where credit's due, I think. But let's not get too deep into that, lest we draw the ire of the world. Believe it or not, Todd, this is a video game podcast. We get together every week and we talk about video games, sometimes viruses. Here lately, viruses.
It's relevant.
Fending off viral outbreak. Do you think this is maybe all just a big marketing campaign for Resident Evil 3? Resident Evil 3 remake coming out?
That'd be hilarious.
Just worldwide global marketing. Yeah, you got the conspiracy theorists that are like, China did this on purpose. They released the virus.
That umbrella logo, son.
That umbrella logo, dude. It's Resident Evil 3 marketing. It comes out April 2nd.
You know what's funny to me is China trying to blame everybody else.
Here's what I don't understand, okay? And maybe I'll catch some shit for this. I don't know. What I don't understand is how, this thing has like a million different names. Coronavirus, COVID-19. They were... Yeah, well, they were trying to make the Wuhan virus catch on, and everybody's saying it's racist.
Well, because of that, you got people trying to change the name of the Spanish flu retroactively now. It's like
retroactively because you didn't give a fuck about it until Trump called it the Chinese virus. You didn't give a shit about anything being called the Spanish flu until then. Even if you're going to be pissed off about it being called the Wuhan virus, then you need to also be pissed off about West Nile virus and Lyme disease. And the list goes on and on and on. It's just the place of origin. I mean, like, how stupid do you got to be?
Well, I don't know. Like I told you the last time this came up, everything and everyone is racist.
Whatever. That's neither here nor there. I don't want to get hung up on that. Moving right along to let's move out of the virus talk and into some goddamn video games. The way our chosen method of escapism. And maybe all of yours if you're in a place that you are that's has you in quarantine, if you're cooped up, maybe you're playing some video games, keeping safe, keeping sanitary. Todd, what have you been playing?
So I'm going to start this out with talking about a little bit of Warzone.
Right.
Because I have definitely put some more time into it. I like it. I actually like it a lot. I don't know how I feel about it versus like Apex yet.
Yeah,
I do like some. I would think I would consider Apex like probably out of all the battle royales probably my favorite. But Warzone's up there because it's just I think Warzone versus Blackout. My issue with Blackout when it came out is essentially like, hey, let's make a quick battle royale and get it out there. Warzone does enough interesting things for me that I actually enjoy. Like I do like the buy stations. I like the fact that you can actually just dead ass get your loadout for like 6,000. There's so many different ways to just get back into the game if you're playing it with a squad. So, you have the first death. You have the chance to get back with the gulag.
That gulag mechanic's really cool.
Yes, the 1v1 firefight. I really love that. And that that gives you the chance. But if you're obviously playing with a squad, they can redeploy you for 4,500. There's there's so many different things with that buy station I enjoy, and then the supply boxes like in the buildings, like you end up finding like shit from those buy stations in those supply boxes. Like you can find the gas mask, which is the gas mask is clutch. Do you know the deal with the gas mask?
No.
So the gas mask essentially gives you about like 12 seconds of basically damage-free time in the circle.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's real fucking clutch. Real clutch. Because I'm going to be honest, that circle hurts even from the fucking get-go.
Well, and you have that, always have those moments in these games, right, where you're just in that circle for a little too long.
So let me tell you right now, I was playing with my manager and one of my coworkers, and we were just fucking. I was doing the Lord's work. We didn't win. We ended up getting like 5th place, but I got a shit ton of kills. Like, dude, at one point, I just trying to get like the circles on my ass. I team wiped like 2 or 3 fucking squads.
Jesus,
it was unfucking real. I'm like, I was just it was like I was like, woo. Fucking the primal war drums were going. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think the map's pretty good. You know, it's kind of big, man.
Well, so you think it's too big, even despite the fact that it's 150 players?
I feel like it is.
Hmm.
There is times where like I don't see anybody for a while. But other than that, one of the other things I do like is when you're jumping out of the plane is you can actually see the names of all the locations. I do love that.
Right.
I do love that a lot. Instead of having like, yeah, you can, they have the ping system. I don't think the ping system is as intuitive as it is in Apex.
It definitely is not. No.
I actually dead ass for a while there. I forgot how to ping.
Well, in Apex, it's such a like central mechanic.
Yeah, it did. I've gotten better with doing it in Warzone. It's not, doesn't feel as good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to really ping a location. I'll be like, hey, let's go to the dam, or hey, let's go to the prison, or whatever the fuck, or hey, let's go to the superstore. You know,
right.
It's a little easier to like maneuver with like the names on like when you're jumping. I mean, other than that, I've played like maybe 5 or 7 games of it. Like, because again, I just don't have the time to play shit like that all the time. And also, I might actually start playing it more because they did come out with solos.
Okay.
So that is because that's my thing is like I don't like doing shit with a squad unless I'm playing with people I know. I don't like fucking squadding up with randoms. So they did come out with solos. I did play 1 game of that. And I already know that I liked it like way more. So I will probably return next week to talk about my experience with the solo game mode of it. But
yeah, I watched Anastasia play a couple games of it just to sort of get a feel for it. It's one of those things where I'm like, God, I wish I enjoyed this type of game.
I enjoy it enough to where I can actually play it. So
to be completely honest with you, I look at it and I'm like, this is really cool, and I respect all the stuff they've added. Warzone feels like a really good melting pot of all of the good battle royale ideas that have come from other places.
That's why I like it. Well, that's why I like it a lot, because it is just a bunch of good ideas together. Like it works out. Other than that, like the other main thing I've been playing is Nioh 2.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the one I'm really ready to hear you talk about. So
yeah, Nioh 2. So I'm like I'm taking my time with it. I'm actually just about to head to the second area in the game.
Doing that slow jerk?
Yeah, I'm doing a slow jerk, kind of like what is it, jelqing? No, I was just playing.
Okay. Is that what it's called? Jelqing?
I don't know.
I hate that. Oh no. Jelqing. That's not good.
But yeah. So I'm going taking it slow.
I don't know why I decided to Google this as you were talking. Jelqing is a penis stretching exercise. It involves massaging your penis tissue, stretching the skin to create micro tears that look engorged when they heal.
Yeah. This
supposedly makes your penis look longer or thicker. Good God. A 2011 study found that using traction devices could increase penis length up to 1 inch if worn at least 9 hours a day for 3 months. Holy shit. Are there people walking around with shit on their dick for 9 hours a day?
Yes, there is.
Potential side effects of jelqing include bruising on the penis, pain or soreness along the shaft, skin irritation, scar tissue, and erectile dysfunction.
Yep.
Holy moly.
You're welcome.
I love some of the language here because it just doesn't... It's what precautions can you take to minimize side effects? 1. Lube up your penis. Use something to make your penis wet and slippery. Oh my goodness. People are putting olive oil on their dick.
Why not?
Like you're gonna fry up a nice chicken parm.
Hey bitch, we're here to talk about Nioh.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
You're welcome for me bringing a little more of the internet to you.
Holy moly.
I do that to you a lot.
Yeah, you do. I really, there's a pure spot that you corrupt on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Whew.
Yeah.
Experiment with grips like the pincher. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, Nioh 2. Where can I start? I'm gonna start with like maybe the changes between Nioh 1 and Nioh 2. So Nioh 2, you actually do create your own character. They have gone for a more silent protagonist.
Did the dude talk in the first one?
Yeah, he was a character. He was.
I knew he was a character, but I don't even remember him speaking.
No, he talked. He talked in the cutscenes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So at this point, you're just sitting there like people talking. And you're just like, my favorite thing actually so far is, "What's your name?" This motherfucker pulls out a dagger. It's like has like a goddamn symbol on it and shit.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like the Rise of Skywalker dagger written in the Sith language.
Yeah, well, it has like a Japanese character.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he just pulls that shit out. And it's like, all right, cool. So the character, your character is essentially a shifling. You are a half human, half yokai.
Okay.
And that is where you end up with the yokai abilities, which you get the yokai abilities from like killing certain yokai, and they drop their soul cores, and you can actually equip those soul cores in your guardian spirits, which those have returned as well. The guardian spirits.
Are there others like you, or are you the only one?
That is something that is I'm still too early on to be.
Okay.
Here's my thing. I do see where the story is ending.
Okay.
Oh, that's something I have realized. I think this game takes place before Nioh 1.
Yes, I think I actually heard that before it came out. That was a prequel.
Well, yeah, I dead ass saw. Well, here you see one of the fucking motherfucker. What's his name? Oda, no, whatever the fuck. He's like young in this game, from what I've seen in like a trailer. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Overall, there's a new weapon called there's a couple new weapons in the game, which I have definitely got I definitely really, really enjoy the Switchglaive, which really does play off the stance in a much cooler way to me. Because
that's the one where each stance has a different kind of weapon type, right?
Yes.
That's
so
cool.
High stance is a scythe, mid stance is a like halberd, and low stance is like this like guillotine, like just slashing fucking sword almost. It's like really fucking cool. It's actually the last boss that I killed was this giant snake, and I was farming a little bit because I wanted to get just more like skill points into my weapons, and I ended up getting this really, really cool high stance ability where as I'm guarding, I hit square, and I basically if the first hit connects, I do a flip and I start. It's basically the spin to win with the hammer from Monster Hunter. It's not it's not going like that hard, but it goes pretty hard. That's the one thing I like about the weapon. It seems like the combo, like if you really put your all like with the skill points and all that into that weapon, you can end up really doing some really, really cool shit. Other than that, I've obviously stuck with like my other main weapon is the Odachi that came in with one of the DLCs in Nioh 1, which is just a giant fucking katana. It's just a great sword, essentially. And you know how Daddy feels about great swords.
Did they bring back the what's it called? The fucking Kusarigama?
Oh yeah, they did.
That's one of my favorites.
The there's just a lot of shit going on in the game. Like there's the so instead of like the living weapon uh mechanic for, I don't know if you remember that from like Nioh, the living weapon was
I do.
okay. So with that now you actually just go into yokai form.
It essentially just takes the place of.
Yes, it takes the place of it, but here's the deal: they all play. There's 3 versions. I mean, I'm assuming they might even come out with like more, like if like with like a DLC. But currently, so there are guardian spirits, and each guardian spirit will have a certain form of 3. There's Phantom, Feral, and Brute.
Okay.
Brute, and now there's another. This will lead into another mechanic called burst counters, but I'll get to that. So obviously the Brute is that more like he has like you basically walking around with a fucking like hat, like basically like a club essentially. He's going just full on attacking. Feral, it's like dual bladed, like really fast, more dodgy.
Okay.
And Phantom is I've seen it in the tutorial, but the thing is I don't have a guardian spirit that has that form yet, but is essentially more of a ranged one in a weird way.
Interesting. Okay.
It's just like throwing like daggers and shit. More like, I am looking forward to fucking with that one because I've the main ones I've fucked with is Feral and Brute, and I'll say this with the burst counters. So that's a new mechanic with there's also new enemy attacks called burst attacks. So you'll know that it's a burst attack if it gets like this red like aura around it as it's attacking, and with the burst counters, essentially if you pull them off, you'll do heavy key damage to the yokai, or even just like the standard enemy in general, like a human or whatever. Whatever does a burst attack, you'll essentially just completely almost kill their ki. And at that point, you can, So when an enemy is out of ki, I don't know if you remember this, is the essentially like it's staggered way easier, and you just kind of like really fuck them up,
right?
To the point where you can almost get to essentially a visceral attack from like Bloodborne. So out of the 2 yokai forms that I've fucked with, I do prefer the burst counter of the Feral. The Feral is more of a phantom sidestep, where essentially you dodge, and as the burst attack hits that after image, they get stunned, and you start fucking them up like that. The burst counter for the Brute is dead ass more of a counter. It's more of like a parry in a way, where you kind of have to like time it right. And the thing is, like, you can still pull it off, like without getting like damaged, but I'm gonna be honest, like maybe I'm just not as good with it. Is I definitely do take a little bit of damage, but still pull it off. So I feel like it's more. I think Feral's a little easier to pull off. You know what I'm saying? I am looking forward to seeing what like the Phantom shit does, because I'm not too sure on it. Maybe like the next Guardian Spirit I'll grab will have it. But overall, though, I like the changes they've made, like little quality of life stuff with like the shrines are pretty nice. Because there's a new thing called the Kodama Bazaar, which I really enjoy. And there's also a new like currency involved with the shrine called Divine Rice. You get Divine Rice by making offerings, with like the gear that you don't give a shit about. And with the Divine Rice, you can buy shit from the Kodama Bazaar. It's fair, though. You can't just sit there and like load up on elixirs. It's whatever elixirs, like arrows, bullets, like all that shit you can get from the Kodama Bazaar, essentially. And you can't just like overfill. Essentially, like whatever if it's like you have a max of 8 elixirs, right? If I have 5, I can only buy 3. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that,
right?
But I like that because it's just like a guaranteed way. Like, hey, I can always get elixirs. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
good.
That's a quality of life shit that I enjoy, and it's actually to the point where I've always, especially in Nioh 1, I usually use the Kodama blessing of basically more elixir drops. I do not do that anymore. I actually use where I just get more souls, essentially. More Amrita. And it's been a lot, I've had a lot of fun just in the little bit that I've played right now. I've done, again, I'm about to head to the next area where I found out some shit, essentially. And I do see where the story of this game is going to end, probably. Without saying something, I'm going to say this. It's sun versus sun.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like, it's where
That means nothing to me.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So that's why I see where that's gonna go. Because I found out some shit in the cutscene of the last mission I did. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the story of this game ends. But
is this one still a PlayStation exclusive?
I don't know.
The first one was. Yeah, this one is too. Yeah.
Oh wow.
This has become kind of an interesting little exclusive second party franchise here.
I mean, I enjoy it. I think personally,
I'm a little surprised they didn't just rope this into BlizzCon a few months back, because these are both things that I feel like they could have talked about back then. But Overwatch is getting a new hero. We already sort of knew this.
We're getting the robot.
Finally getting the robot Echo.
So granted, this is going to be the second aerial character, right?
Yes, seems that way. I don't know much. I haven't actually watched the video.
I mean, here's the thing. I'll report back when she hits the fucking PTR.
Yeah, I mean, I don't plan on actually playing the game, but I will for sure listen to.
I'll jump on the PTR to check her out.
Yeah, I'll listen to you talk about her on the PTR. So seems interesting.
I'll do my research.
Yeah, I'm expecting that to hit the PTR before long, because Blizzard did say she's coming soon. So I bet within the next few days, Echo will pop up on there. So I'm looking forward to hearing you talk about that. That's cool for Overwatch fans. Hearthstone, though, is actually adding its first entirely new class since launch.
Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter, yes.
Yep.
Really cool.
I won't lie to you. It did interest me. I'm like, do I want to play Hearthstone?
I think I actually might dip back in for this. It's coming on April 7th as part of the Ashes of Outland expansion. The rep for the Demon Hunters, of course, is going to be Illidan. Illidan Stormrage, of course. So it's really interesting because it's a very aggressive class. So do you know the deal with it?
I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
The big thing about it is you get the hero ability is you get +1 attack, but it only costs 1 mana.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just charge straight in. There's also a lot of like setup potential with that. And they also have their own kind of like style. I think it's called the Outcast card set, where there are Outcast card types that change their properties depending on their placement on the battlefield, if they're on the far left or far right. And you can do a lot of like combo setup potential with that too. Really cool. The way you unlock this is interesting. So you can unlock the Demon Hunter class by completing a story campaign that retells Illidan's origin story, and that launches on April 2nd. You get 10 basic Demon Hunter cards, a 20-card Demon Hunter Initiate set, and a pre-built Demon Hunter deck from completing that. And then once the actual expansion launches on April 7th, you can play as Illidan himself. So really cool. I think I might dip back into this. I wish they would just put this game on Switch.
Oh, shut the fuck up. No,
or on console in general. You know what I mean? Like, why is this game not on console? I don't understand. Especially Switch. If it's a control issue, Switch has a touchscreen. Like, you can basically just port the mobile version over to Switch and it would be fine. I'm just saying.
I hate you, motherfucker.
I'd just rather play it on console than PC, man. Like, I firmly believe that if Hearthstone was on Switch, I literally would have it installed right now. I'd be playing it. So, I don't know. Just take my money, damn it. Take my money. You think you're going to jump back in?
There's a 75% chance.
Really? That's higher than I expected. If you want to play, I'll play with you.
I don't want you to play with me. No.
I will happily play some Hearthstone. I love Hearthstone. We'll recreate that first experience we had with Hearthstone.
I made you good at that game.
That first experience where we basically just played Hearthstone for like 8 straight hours.
It was nice. It was real nice.
That was cool. So to wrap up here, Todd, let's talk about PS5 a little bit. Because we got some news about the PS5's kind of specs. We kind of knew ahead of time Mark Cerny was going to be doing a presentation about PlayStation 5. A lot of people were like getting overzealous. Oh, are they going to show the console? Are they going to talk about the release date? No. I knew it was just going to be a very dry, tech-focused presentation. Very boring, lots of numbers. But we do now know a lot more about the PS5's under the hood.
Do we know about the teraflops?
We know about the teraflops. Now, I just want to start off by saying that I think that this was the wrong tact. I think that they did a kind of poor job with this because when you stack, like they talked about numbers, right? And that's kind of not what they need to be talking about with PS5 because it's got a custom CPU and a custom SSD in there. And that's actually the really exciting part of it that I'll talk about in a second. But when you look at the just bare numbers compared to the Xbox Series X, it makes the PS5 look weaker. You know what I mean? Even though it is not necessarily weaker. So, for example, the PS5 is going to be capable of 10.28 teraflops compared to the Xbox Series X's 12 teraflops. And it's like the CPU and the GPU is like slower and stuff like that, or it looks slower on paper anyway. So this is an interesting thing. Internal storage, Todd. Were you hoping for 2 terabytes? Because
we're not getting it.
You're not getting it. You're getting a 825 gig SSD.
You disgusting bitches. What is that? 2 games? What is it? 2 fucking games? You ignorant bitches.
There's going to be expandable storage via an SSD slot. There's also going to be hard drive, like typical USB hard drive support via external storage, which I predict that like every fucking PS5 owner is going to be using external storage. Because you're going to fill up that 825 real quick. Now,
these games at the ass end of this generation are fucking unreal.
The custom CPU and the custom GPU are really similar. The Xbox CPU, for starters, runs at 3.66 gigahertz. PS5's runs at 3.5 gigahertz. So it's really not that big of a difference. But what I really want to talk about is the versatility of the machine. So, like, what's interesting about the SSD here, the custom SSD that PS5 has, that I think is getting lost in a lot of this language, is it has variable ways of loading things. So it can prioritize where it wants to put power, essentially. And they're saying that load times are going to be basically instantaneous. It's going to have various boost modes. It's going to be able to adjust its CPU and GPU usage on the fly. And developers are actually going to be able to control that. So developers are going to be able to control the way the system performs for their game specifically. Which, like, the Xbox is cool. The raw power is cool and all. But having the versatility that the PS5 offers, like, that could change the way that people design their games. You know what I mean? I mean, that could be really interesting. So, I think that's the sort of thing that people are going to... I think that's what's going to get lost in the conversation there. Because I think people are just going to be stuck comparing numbers. And that's not necessarily, I think, the wisest thing. One thing that is bullshit is we've been talking this whole time about backwards compatibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sony has been very upfront saying, and very frankly kind of cocky, talking about backwards compatibility for PS5. And well, it sounds like PS5 is not going to have true backwards compatibility, at least at launch.
Oh my god.
With PS4. It's got different boot modes where it's got like a PS4 Legacy mode and a PS4 Pro mode, which is something that we sort of heard about a few months back. But yeah, they're like, we looked at the top 100 games on PS4, and most of them are running on PS5. And their excuse for this essentially is that the PS5 is actually too fast. Like, it's too powerful to run some of these PS4 games natively. So, I don't know. I think that if there's a game on PS4 that you want to play on PS5, you're probably going to be able to. But the fact that they just don't all work is bullshit. And that's going to be, I think, the big difference there. When you look at Xbox, and it's like, hey, the past, 20 years just works on the Series X. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a big deal for a lot of people. I think it's also going to boil down to games. So, I mean, that's the big thing that we need to see is the games.
Yep.
And that's what I'm really worried about with Sony because, again, they're ending this generation with 2 big games from 2 of their most prolific first-party studios. It's like, what do you got? What are you going to have for launch? Because Xbox is going to come out swinging with games for launch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm worried. It's, I think the most important thing is probably price, but I think games is second.
Yep, definitely.
I think games is second. That's going to inform the entire narrative around this thing. So, I don't know. As we get closer and closer, I'm more and more interested to see what these 2 guys are going to be bringing to the table. You think you're going to end up getting both?
Unfortunately.
I probably will too. I talk all this shit, but I'll probably get both.
Drop $1,000.
Just fuck it. Fuck it, just drop $1,000. Just fuck me all the way up, dude. We'll see. Oh, quick PSA, just real quick before we wrap up the show. I meant to bring this up, but I spaced it. Shout out to Octopath Traveler. They announced that they've sold 2 million copies.
Oh no, nice. That's a game that I wouldn't mind playing at some point.
Well, now's a good time to pick it up because to celebrate the milestone, they're offering it for 50% off.
Oh shit. Okay.
Until April 2nd, that game is going to be half off. I am 100% grabbing a copy probably after we get done recording this. I don't know when I'm going to play it, but I'm going to pick that game up. It's never going to be that cheap again. So, that game has been full price since it launched 2 years ago. So, yeah. Good time to pick up Octopath Traveler if you want a good, meaty, classic RPG. So, just wanted to shout that out. PSA. Anyway, Todd, that is what I've got. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
I think that's about it, man.
All right, folks. Stay safe out there. Stay clean. Let's all survive this Mad Max apocalypse.
And also stop being assholes and panic buying.
Yeah, stop. Don't do that, guys. Don't panic buy. You don't need all that toilet paper.
You don't need a Black Friday every fucking day.
You don't need all that toilet paper. You don't need all those Pop-Tarts. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Save some
shit. I don't got shit.
Save some for the rest of us. We stocked up. We're good to go.
Hey, you know what? Best part of me working overnight. Guess what, bitch? I get first dibs.
Yeah, first dibs. You know what, though? You taking that on the bus, you better look both ways.
Real shit. That's real shit.
Anyway. We'll catch you guys next time. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.